good? Am I on?
Yep.
Did we test all the mics?
Mhm.
Okay. All right. This is a meeting of the Southfield Board of Education in public for the purpose of conducting the school district's business and is not to be considered as a community meeting. There are 2 opportunities for public participation during the meeting, and comments are limited to 3 minutes per individual. The board will listen to comments but may not respond during the meeting. If you wish to address the board, please submit a comment card immediately. Roll call. Ashanti Bland, Board President.
Yvette Ware Duvall, Vice President.
Good evening, Leslie Love Smith Thomas, Board Secretary.
Amani Johnson, Board Treasurer.
Daryl B. Joyce, Trustee.
Talisha Belk, trustee. Jillian Holloway, trustee.
King Twitty, Student Representative.
Cassidy Tomlinson, Student Representative.
Dr. Jennifer Green, Superintendent, and taking minutes for us this evening is Ms. Carolyn Foster. Our audio and visual is being provided by M1 Studios.
May we all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Before we open any other board matters, tonight we will have our 3 trustees taking the oath of office. Our first trustee, Talisha Belk, a Southfield resident of 16 years. Talisha Belk is an author, an executive professional with years of experience in community relations, operations, finance, outreach, and partnership management. She obtained a Bachelor's of Science degree in management with a major in finance from Davenport University. She furthered her education by obtaining an SAP certification from Central Michigan University. Talisha was ordained a reverend in 2014 and became executive pastor of Mount Charity Missionary Baptist Church in November of 2021. She is the proud mother of 3 beautiful children, 2 of which are Southfield alum, and 1 who is currently enrolled. This evening, Trustee Belk is being sworn in by her husband of 27 years, Reverend Frederick Belk. Trustee Belk. Get your Bible.
And there's a microphone there, so everyone can hear. Yes.
I need you to repeat after me. Raise your right hand. I do solemnly swear or affirm
I do solemnly swear or affirm
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of this state,
and the Constitution of this state,
and that I fully discharge the duties
and that I fully discharge the duties
of the office of the member of Board of Education
of the office of the member of the Board of Education
of Southfield Public Schools
of Southfield Public Schools
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. Next, we have Trustee Jillian Holloway, who will be sworn in by the Honorable Sheila Johnson, Chief Magistrate of 46th District. Judge of 46th District Court.
Chief Judge.
Trustee Jillian Holloway is a Lathrop resident. She is a retired Detroit police officer, published author. She has a Bachelor's of Arts from the University of Detroit Mercy and the owner of Unigold Company. She's lived in Lathrop Village for 17 years. and has a host of nieces and nephews who are Southfield Public School alum. She currently has a granddaughter attending McIntyre Elementary. Trustee Jillian Holloway.
And before we begin, I just want to say to the superintendent, the board members, to our audience, and to our newly elected board members, congratulations, first of all. And you all have an awesome responsibility that you've been elected to do, and that is to make those very difficult, in some instances, decisions that guide the way for the education of our youth, who are our future. And you are solely responsible for implementing the mission of the Southfield Public Schools Board of Education, which is to ensure that all of our students are educated in a collaborative, safe, supportive, high-quality, student-centered environment, and to prepare the dynamic, innovative leaders to compete within our global society. And that's both today and tomorrow. And so I know that each one of you, as you embark upon your election here, have that mission in mind, and I know that you will faithfully discharge these duties. So without further ado, raise your right hand, please, and repeat after me. I state your name.
Jillian Holloway,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
of the United
of
States
the United States
and the Constitution
and the Constitution
of the State of Michigan,
of the State of Michigan,
and that I will faithfully
and that I will faithfully
discharge the duties
discharge the duties
of the office of
of the office of
trustee
trustee
of the Board of Education
of the Board of Education
of the Southfield Public School District
of Southfield Public School District
according to the best
according to the best
of my abilities.
of my ability.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. Last but not least, we have Trustee Yvette Ware Duvall, who has been a Southfield resident for over 25 years, who currently services a local church. She is the mother of three, a daughter Christian, who is a University High School alum, son Jayden, who is also a University High School alum, and her son Remington, who is a MacArthur 8th grader. She is married to Jerry Duvall, who we affectionately know as Chris. And we are pleased, she's been pleased to have been appointed for over 2 years and now elected. Trustee Ware Duvall.
Raise your right hand. Repeat after me. I do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Michigan, and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of trustee, vice president of the Board of Education of the Southfield Public School System according to the best of my ability. Congratulations.
So much, Judge Johnson.
We know you have an extremely busy schedule, so we
Right.
appreciate you taking
Yes.
time out to be with us here this evening. Much appreciated.
Trustees, are there any board matters?
I would just like to say Happy New Year to everyone and welcome back, Southfield Public Schools.
I do have a board matter, if I may.
Sure.
As we've just gone through the process of making sure that we are under oath to go forward with the task at hand for our students, our community, our educators, I also want to take a few moments to recognize our board president. Today is her birthday. And so over the last couple of years, since she's been elected, she's been here doing the work on her birthday. And some of us have an opportunity of getting away, spending time with our friends, but she does the work. And she is here to make sure that we do what we need to do, again, to support our community. With that said, I would just like to, from the board, wish Board President Ashanti Bland happy birthday.
Thank you. Appreciate
Crumb cakes.
Sugar Rush.
Thank you. Appreciate it. I have one board matter. I would just like to say Happy New Year and welcome to our 2 new trustees. It's already been a pleasure. We look forward to doing the work with you. I'd also like to take this moment before we have their reports to recognize our newest student board representative from Southfield A&T, King Twitty. King,
Please stand.
please stand. So King went through the application and interview process, and he was chosen in December. We look forward to seeing the work that he does and watching him grow over this next year. So to Cassidy and King, welcome back. I know school just started and you all are here. So we thank you for your commitment and dedication. Trustees, are there any other board matters? We have the OSCS, OSCBA. We got NSBA, MASB, OCSBA, Government Relations. I believe we have to do an appointment this evening. Each year, OCSBA asks that every member district board of education appoints a trustee to the Government Relations Committee. This evening, we will be appointing a trustee. I'm going to ask that trustee for the Government Relations. Are you still? Yes, it is trustee Amani Johnson. Does
that require a nominee?
It does. So
Do I nominate myself?
you can.
If you wish to
If you wish to continue. And
Yes, I accept.
it's been properly moved and accepted. Trustee Johnson, we will get the paperwork in, and Trustee Johnson will continue to be our, we got a call for the vote. Lord
Welcome
help me.
back.
Jesus. Y'all can tell I'm in birthday mode.
I move that we appoint trustee Amani Johnson to the OCSBA Government Relations Committee.
It's been properly moved and supported. Any discussion? Hearing none. Board Secretary, please call for the vote.
Trustee Holloway?
Yes.
Trustee Johnson?
Yes.
Myself, yes. Trustee Ware Duvall?
Yes.
Trustee Joyce?
Yes.
Trustee Belk?
Yes.
Trustee Bland?
Yes.
Unanimous.
Motion carried. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yes. My last board matter would be to announce our new executive board, and of course, she's nothing new to board secretary. We have Trustee Smith Thomas is our new board secretary for the year 2023. Thank you. Trustee Johnson is our board treasurer for the year 2023. Thank you, Trustee Johnson. Trustee Ware Duvall is our vice president for the year 2023. Trustee Ware Duvall, thank you. And thank you for nominating me to be your board president for another year. I am Ashanti Bland. Trustees, any other board matters? Hearing none. Public participation. If you wish to address the board regarding a school-related issue that has not been resolved by school administration, please submit a comment card immediately. Comments are limited to 3 minutes per individual. As a matter of fairness, speakers with complaints against individuals are asked not to mention any persons by name. Complaints concerning employees pursuant to Board Policy 9130 should be brought to the attention of school principals or other administrators before coming to the Board of Education. Your cooperation is appreciated. Michael Nguyen. Mr. Nguyen, please state your name and address for the record.
My name is Michael Nguyen. I live at 20635 Bradford Court, Southfield, Michigan. Great day to the board, the superintendent, and our wonderful residents. My name is Michael Nguyen. I'm no stranger with the state of Michigan in education. I am a retired fiscal monitor for the school districts for about 25 years, and I'm currently a contractor. But I come here first to congratulate my sister-in-law, Jillian Holloway, for being elected. And my main interest, I am also a certified financial literacy trainer as well as a certified fraud examiner. And I only bring that up because I was part of the long discussion about financial literacy, personal finance in the school. And guess what? They passed it. This conversation, I was part of Jumpstart. I was part of the Accounting Aid Society years ago. And it was amazing that we were one of the states that did not have a requirement, a curriculum requirement for personal assignment. We can't create generational wealth unless we have knowledgeable students that pass on that learning to their parents and to otherwise their siblings who are not familiar with personal finances. So I come today to ask the superintendent, what is the status of Bill 5190 as far as Southfield schools?
Board President, if I may, we normally do not respond to public participation. However, for the benefit of our public audience, if I may answer that question.
You may, because I asked her the same thing when I saw it passed.
So we are working not only to have the public finance or the personal finance being taught at the high school level. In our humble opinion, that is too late for our children. They need to be introduced to personal finance at the elementary level and then begin to manage their own funds at the intermediate level, which is that of the middle school. And then, of course, they should have it mastered at the secondary level. So we are working with Junior Achievement as well as some of our other partners to ensure that we have that exposure at all levels of our organization. Furthermore, we are working with some of our partners to ensure that we are offering, as part of our parent university and some of our other parental engagement experiences, classes for our families, not just that of our parents, but our community as a whole, because we do believe that we are a community serving school district. Therefore, we want to ensure that all families within our community have access to those resources for our future to thrive.
Great, fantastic. And just as a side note, if you didn't know anything about Money Smart is a program that goes on every single year. So unfortunately, we don't get the participation that we want. April, this month, we give a wide variety of classes between Wayne County, Oakland County, Macomb County. In particular here, I'll be at the library, at Southfield Library on the 15th, among a lot of other great people, just to give you some insight on how these things are going to be challenged. I think it's just, a half a credit hour?
Mm-hmm. It's a half a credit.
They only gave, which we need more.
We fought for that.
Yes. I wanted just to make that a point, and hopefully that we are participants of this great passage. Thank you.
So, Mr. Nguyen, we do have your contact information on the blue card. Our chief of staff is here.
He will be here.
He's at the MLK event. He will be here shortly. Mr. James Jackson, we will connect the two of you because we would also like to invite you to the school district to work with us in partnership on sharing this very, very valuable information.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Before before the reports of our student board representatives, I would just like to recognize some people. Oh, that's not working. Recognize some people that are in the audience, and they come often. We have a lot of our building administrators in the audience. They worked all day today, all day, came back on Monday. So would you please stand, please, because I think that says a lot about you all showing up on Tuesday nights. Thank you. We will have our report of student board representatives, starting with Cassidy Tomlinson from University High School Academy. Good evening, Cassidy.
Good evening. Good evening and Happy New Year to Superintendent Green, Board of Trustees, parents, and the extended community. My name is Cassidy Tomlinson, and I am the Student Board Representative on behalf of University High School Academy. For the month of January, here are some of the events that are happening at the U this month. The National Junior Honor Society will meet on January 17th in Ms. Van Erman's room in A104. The United for Christ Club will meet every other Tuesday of the month on the 17th and 31st. This club is open to 8th through 12th grade students to grow and develop a relationship with Christ. This club occurs in Mr. Sanford's room in A202. Middle school student council meetings will resume on January 12th and begin in room A106. There will be a field trip for high school students only on Friday, February 10th from 11:30 a.m. to 2 p.m. to Orange Theory Fitness. The field trip form, sign, parental consent form, along with your $20 fee, will cover the cost of the class, transportation, water, and a before and after snack. And this is all due on the 27th of this month. The deadline to register for the February 11th ACT date is the 6th, which just passed this month. There will be no school on Martin Luther King Day on the 16th. There is a University Parent Association meeting on January 17th from 6 to 7 p.m. There will be a senior noon lunch at 12 p.m. for seniors scheduled for Monday, January 23rd. There will be a Class of 2023 bowling night on Saturday, the 28th of this month as well. Location and time is to be determined. This Friday, there will be a senior lock-in from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. A $10 fee is required for the event and should be given to Mrs. Navis, our gym teacher, on Thursday by 3 p.m. There will be food and games provided. For UHSA high school students, the dates for final exams are the 19th, 20th, and 23rd. High school students will be dismissed from school at 11:25 a.m. for all of those days. And lastly, university high school seniors have accumulated 224 acceptances to college and $945,833 in scholarship money. Thank you.
Cassidy.
You're welcome.
Trustees, any questions, any comments? Is it safe to say that you guys will hit the $1 million mark?
I know we will.
Okay.
I know you will.
That's awesome. King Twitty of Southfield High School for the Arts and Technology.
Good evening. I am King Twitty, student representative to the board and student council president. Thank you for giving me this time to speak on behalf of great things at Southfield A&T. With all the perceived negativity, I like to focus on the positives first. In December, the seminar classes helped run a successful Toy for Tots drive where students will buy toys for younger students who are in need for the holiday season. Also, the student council collected food or went shopping to donate baskets to Southfield families for the holiday season. The Fine Arts Department hosted a Winter Fine Arts Festival. This included choir, dance company, drama club, orchestra, and concert band. Clubs, the band, and the sports teams are also in full swing. 12 BPA students placed at the regional competition, and the BPA placed first in small business management. The next step is the state competition in Grand Rapids in March. 21 student council members traveled to Stevenson Elementary to read and interact with younger students. The marching band will be included in a documentary about a well-known band director in Detroit, while the cheerleading team placed second in the Division I competition at Oxford. We have 4 Dream Team All-Conference, All-State players consisting of Juwan Jarrett, Isaiah Marshall, Tashi Braceville, and Jalen Todd from the 2022 football team. So the football team has over $17 million in scholarship offers this year.
Yeah.
Upcoming is girls basketball game versus West Bloomfield on Tuesday, January 10th, while the boys basketball plays at home on January 17th versus U of D Jesuit. We also thrive academically as well. The GERO program will kick off with ninth grade students also at the high school, which helps them with college opportunities and scholarships. Top scholars in grades 9 through 11 were recognized for their performance on the College Board PSAT test. And finally, Southfield A&T has been recognized as one of 120 schools in the U.S. named Computer Science Leader and awarded a $10,000 prize. And by the way, Mr. Green is at his own board meeting, but wanted to send his congratulations. Thank you.
Trustees, any questions or comments?
I just want to say how nice it was to hear all the positive things coming out of both of our high schools in support of our students and our educators. Thank you both for what you've done this evening.
At this time, if either one of you need to leave to get to your academic studies, you're welcome to, but you're also welcome to stay for the rest of the evening. Thank you for your reports. We'll move on to report of the superintendent.
Students are more important, so I'm okay if you call me a student because I do believe that we're lifelong learners. First, I would like to thank everyone for the well wishes while I was out of the district temporarily due to illness. I want to thank the executive team who stepped up in my absence and took care of all the things that needed to be taken care of. So at the building level, I'd like for you all to stand again, but I'd also like the executive district network team to stand as well because they really carried the load in my absence for those few weeks. So team, please stand. I'm extremely grateful. Couple that with the loss of my dad, I appreciate all of the sympathies and condolences that I experienced during that time. But I'm very happy to be back. This is my second day back, and everyone looks well. We are optimistic about 2023. The first item on my list is that of legislative updates, and for those who follow legislative updates, generally between the end of their session and the end of the calendar year, we have a period known as lame duck session, and they try to push through as many bills as possible. One year in particular, either 2018 or 2019, I can't recall which one, we had approximately 177 bills rushed through lame duck. And that's exactly what they do. They rush them through. Fortunately, their feet were held to the fire this year, and there were only 3 bills, in particular to that of education, that made it to the governor's desk. 2 of the bills were signed into law, and 1 was vetoed. So we are grateful for those who held our legislators accountable to the communities in which they serve. The one is House Bill 5777 was introduced by Representative Frederick that requires the Michigan Department of Education to develop resources for parents and guardians for children who are deaf or hard of hearing. So we were very pleased to see that. The governor did sign that into law. The second of which is House Bill 6042, introduced by Mike Muller, that requires school boards to work with local law enforcement agencies to provide critical incident mapping data. So we were already started down that road. You may recall we've applied for a grant, and we work extremely close with that of our police department and fire department. So Southfield Public Schools and Southfield Board of Education are 2 steps ahead of everyone else in that regard as well. There's some technical changes to the state employee retirement system, and that will not occur. That was House Bill 4733, introduced by Rep. Sabo, and that has been vetoed by our governor. So did want to report on that. Fortunately, the list was not that extensive for this year. Also, there's been a number of inquiries relative to our surplus properties. In October, I believe the board signed authority for us to garner interest from anyone that wished to purchase our properties that were offline or surplus. Those buildings included the old Bussey MacArthur that is located on the north side of 12 Mile, that of Leonard Elementary, and also that of Brace-Letterly on 9, and then we have Eisenhower and Magnolia. Those were the 5 buildings having been identified. As we move through this process, we have now recognized that Eisenhower may need to come off that surplus list temporarily to use as a secondary swing space. And what I mean by swing space, we've talked about this a little bit in the past, but I'd like to refresh everyone's memory. As we walk through this process of the 10-year bond implementation, there will be times where we have to take our current buildings offline to make the construction repairs. And we do not want to interrupt the educational process of our students. Therefore, we will have 2 buildings prepped and ready to go if needed to relocate our children to those sites for the continuity of their educational services when we are actually facilitating the construction on their current school homes. So at this point, we don't have any interest in that property, so it won't be an issue with the current inquiries that we've received, but I did want to make the board and our community aware that we are looking to repurpose that. So if there are any questions from the trustees.
I think for the community, I just wanted you to clarify how potentially we would use Eisenhower and for what, so they would understand as a secondary space what might be impacted and how we will
Absolutely.
work through that.
Absolutely. When it comes to school construction, the majority of the work is accomplished over the summer months when the children are not in school. It makes for a very limited supply labor market because every school district is trying to get the work done during the summer months. There's also a 40 to 50 week lead time on many of the parts that we will need to begin the work in our schools. And as we know, we are in desperate need of having these repairs done. So for example, we currently are looking to start the work with the HVAC systems in that of Adler Elementary and Stevenson Elementary. If there's a 30 to 40 week lead time or 40 to 50 week lead time, that would mean the parts would arrive in our district. And this is just an example, so don't hold me to it because I'm dependent on the suppliers. That means that the parts would not arrive in our district until that of August and or September. Our children will be coming back to school. So if that is the case, we would not begin school in those 2 elementary schools at their current locations. We would have the buildings that I referenced, the swing spaces, prepped and ready to go. We will have open houses whereby the families can do walkthroughs of those swing spaces so they know that their children are being temporarily moved to an environment that is safe and conducive for their learning. And we would provide the necessary transportation to not inconvenience our families to take them to that new location for the temporary time in which the HVAC integration is required. This gives us an opportunity to do it when there are more individuals available in the labor market, as well as before Old Man Winter knocks on our door once again for the winter of 2023-2024. Failure to do so means that we would have to wait until the summer of 2024 when the children go on summer vacation to implement those new pieces, and our children have waited long enough. So we are looking for alternatives to displacing their education and or having them uncomfortable during the school year.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions from the trustees? Also, as a bond update, again, I cannot thank the community enough for their support. Unfortunately, I went out on medical during the last board meeting, so I didn't personally have an opportunity to thank the community, but I am extremely grateful for your support. We will be doing a State of the District address in the fall. We are updating a website to integrate into our current website, whereby you will have on-time, immediate information relative to how those dollars are being used and where we are in the process. We will be doing tours so that you can see where safe, because it will be a construction site, but we are going to have a tour scheduled, and I will be out along with members of the executive team speaking to any community members that want to know what we are doing with your dollars. Being fiscally responsible is of the utmost importance to us, and we are going to be 200% transparent, if that is a thing, with how we share that information with you. So thank you for that. The first bond series, because I had people emailing me the very next day saying, hey, it passed, you got the money, right? No, there is a process, so I did kind of want to walk through that a little bit. It is coming to us in 3 series. The first series will cover years 1 through 3, the second series will cover years 4 through 6, and the third series will cover years 7 through 10. We will be developing committees, and we are asking for community stakeholder participation in those committees, as well as the administrative and teachers to be a part of that process, because everything will be a process, and we will have approximately 12 to 20 committees running simultaneously. But there will be updates and reports and minutes taken in those meetings, and those will be uploaded to the website that I referenced as well, so that everyone is aware of what we're doing. The initial payment to the district will not arrive until the spring of this year. So as of right now, if we have snow and I have to close the buildings because it's cold, don't say, you got the bond, you didn't put the new heater in, we don't have the money for it yet, but the moment we get it, we are moving quickly with getting those upgrades in our facilities. Next, the Vandenberg leadership. Before my return to the district, I was notified that we had an administrator retire at the end of the 2022 calendar year, that being Mr. Harry Patton, who served a number of years in the Southfield Public School District. So one, I wanted to publicly thank Mr. Harry Patton for his years of service as a teacher, counselor, administrator at the U, and then his final assignment of leader of Vandenberg Elementary. So Mr. Patton, if you're out there, know that I am grateful for your service and truly appreciate you. Given that I was returning on the 9th and we had to open the building on the 9th, we did go through a series of conversations and interviews to place someone there. We did have some internal candidates voice interest, and I am pleased to share that Ms. Portia Eubanks did accept that interim assignment, and this is her second day. So Ms. Portia Eubanks, please stand up. Please stand up. As I shared with the president of their PTA as well as their staff, stakeholder input is extremely important to this administration and to this Board of Education. Therefore, it is an interim assignment until the stakeholders of Vandenberg have an opportunity to weigh in, and then we will be making a recommendation for a permanent assignment. So I did want to clarify the rationale behind why it was made an interim assignment. We are nothing without our stakeholders, and we are here to provide service. Next, I would like to introduce you to Ms. Giselle Hogans. If she could just stand up and wave. She is our candidate for Chief of Talent Management. We have gone a long time without one. She has 16 plus years of experience in HR. And while we, with the departure of our last Director of Legal and Labor Affairs, have not filled that position, we are still going to use the Allen Law Group to do our legal and labor affairs, to allow Ms. Giselle Hogans an opportunity to fully understand her task ahead relative to talent management. So, Ms. Hogans, thank you for being here this evening. If approved by the Board of Education, her tentative start date is the 16th of February. Is that right, Ms.? The 16th of February. Last and definitely not least, throughout the break, the team was working hard also to identify an athletic director. You may recall the sad moment when our current athletic director decided to retire. As these bills continue to move through and become law, get signed into law, it impacts everyone. And the current law relative to retirement and when people can come back and make 100% of their salary and all of that impacts people's retirement, it impacts those that are in the workforce relative to their own personal journeys. So that being said, you're probably going to see some more retirements come across our desk, and we have to respect those individuals doing what's best for their families. They have served a very long time if they're eligible for retirement, and they are deserving of that time with their families. So we've interviewed several candidates. They have made it through a number of rounds, and right now we are doing some background checking on a few of those individuals. So stay tuned. Our goal is to have someone to you relatively soon, so that this new person will have some time to transition with our current AD, Mr. Mark Woodson, who will be retiring. And we will have Mr. Woodson at the next board meeting to, again, thank him for his service as well. Any questions? Okay. Awesome.
I will now entertain a motion for us to go into closed session. This closed session will be for the SASSA collective bargaining agreement. Trustees.
I motion that we go into closed session for the SASSA collective bargaining agreement. I will read. Under the Michigan Complied Law, Open Meeting Act, Section 15.268, subsection 81C, for strategy and negotiation sessions connected with the negotiation of a collective bargaining agreement, and either negotiating party request a closed hearing.
So, Board President, if I may, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Support.
It's been properly moved and supported. Any discussion? Board Secretary, please call for the vote.
Trustee Johnson?
Yes.
Trustee Joyce?
Yes.
Trustee Bland?
Yes.
Trustee Wilk?
Yes.
Trustee Holloway?
Yes.
Myself, yes. Trustee Ware Duvall?
Yes.
Unanimous.
Motion carried.
Again, my apologies, Board President and trustees assembled. Usually when we go into closed session, audience, we ask that the audience step out into the lobby, and this evening, at the behest of several of our trustees, we are not going to displace you. We are going to take the trustees out of the room for the closed session so that you can remain comfortable in your seats, and we will try to be back as soon as possible.
Vote.
Trustee Belk? Trustee Holloway?
Yes.
Trustee Johnson?
Yes.
Myself, yes. Trustee Ware Duvall?
Yes.
Trustee Joyce?
Yes.
Trustee Bland?
Yes.
Okay, unanimous.
Motion carried. Congratulations. Consent agenda approval of minutes for December 1st, 2022, December 6th, 2022, December 13th, 2022. Any discussion?
Motion to approve.
Is there a motion on the floor? I hear no.
So moved.
Support.
It's been properly moved and supported. Any other discussion? Hearing none, Board Secretary, please call for the vote.
Trustee Joyce?
Yes.
Trustee Holloway?
Yes.
Myself, yes. Trustee Bland?
Yes.
Trustee Belk?
Yes.
Trustee Johnson?
Yes.
Trustee Ware Duvall?
Yes.
Unanimous.
Motion carried. Report 6133, Talent Management Personnel Action Report. Trustees, is there a motion on the floor to open?
So moved.
Second.
It's been properly moved and supported. Trustees, any discussion?
Just for clarification, we
Sure.
have a motion to open, not open and approve.
Approved, correct. Is there any discussion regarding the talent management report?
I do. Number 4, 5, 6, and 7. Just at a very, I guess, maybe general level. Nothing too specific. My concern is the gap at this time that 4, 5, 6, and 7 potentially leave.
Board President, if I may. So the 1.5 was additional support. So that is a gap, yet it's not a direct gap with our students. 4, 6, and 7, I believe those positions have already been posted, and we are in the process of trying to secure in the interim. We are using temporary support of our substitute services. And in some instances, I know administrators have been covering classes and other teachers have been covering as well. But I will get you something in writing in greater detail regarding those specific positions, given that I just returned on yesterday.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Trustees, any other discussion? Hearing none, is there a motion to approve the talent management report?
I motion that we approve the talent management report.
Support.
It's been properly moved and supported. Any other discussion? Board Secretary, please call for the vote.
Trustee Ware Duval,
Yes.
myself, yes. Trustee Joyce,
Yes.
Trustee Johnson,
Yes.
Trustee Holloway,
Yes.
Trustee Bland,
Yes.
Trustee Belk.
Yes.
Unanimous.
Motion carried. Report 6134, John W. English Water Main Break and Repair. Is there a motion to open? This is, and I think we should
This
maybe
would be
have
an
a
open and
couple of, open and approve, but I just wanted to preface this by stating that this water main break is it the second or the third?
We'll have our chief operating officer come to the mic to speak to
Just
the
to give a little bit of
specifics.
background
Yeah.
behind this one.
Good evening, Honorable Board. Actually, this is the second water main break here on the campus of John W.
Give us 1 second, Ms. Wright. Is there a motion to open and approve this before we have this discussion?
Before
So
it goes
moved.
to discussion.
Support.
It's been properly moved and supported. Any discussion? Go ahead, Ms. Wright.
Okay, thank you. This is the second water main break that we've experienced here on campus since I've joined the district in 2021. But we've had some other water main breaks off campus and at other school locations. This water main break repair was done as an emergency due to the impending weather conditions, right? And also because of the amount of water that was being lost. It was discovered by the fire department right next door. And we were able to mobilize a contractor quickly that day in order to make the repair and so that it wouldn't disrupt normal business operations here at JWE and transportation.
And it was also the week that the school district was closing down before the winter break.
Right.
And I think the confusion relative to the number of water main breaks is that when we had the first water main break, every time we repaired the water main, it ruptured in another location.
Right.
So while that was officially one water main break, it was a series of 4 to 5 breaks in that one episode.
Trustees, any questions?
Board President, I do have a question. Ms. Wright, is the water that was running, is that city water, or is that water that would be, or could have been, or would be billed to Southfield District?
The latter. So we were concerned about increased utility costs. The runoff was actually down to the new construction area for the new fire tower. That was also a concern, erosion, soil erosion. In addition to that, it was, as Dr. Green indicated, we were going into the holiday break. We were concerned about supply houses being closed, and we wouldn't be able to get the piping in time for the repair prior to the break. So we had to do it immediately.
Trustees, any other questions? Board Secretary?
Trustee Holloway,
Yes.
are you sure?
Yes.
Okay. Trustee Joyce,
Yes.
myself, yes. Trustee Bland,
Yes.
Trustee Belk,
Yes.
Trustee Johnson,
Yes.
Trustee Ware Duval.
Yes.
Unanimous.
Motion carried. Thank you, Ms. Wright. Before we move on to informational items, do any of these need to be made actionable this evening?
I think everyone would appreciate it, the board included, as it pertains to technology, because one of the items is that of new
The boardroom.
microphones.
I saw that.
In the boardroom.
Information items A and B, monthly financial report and bill disbursement report.
Those reports were emailed to the trustees, and in the interest of time this evening, if there are any questions, our finance team is here to address those questions. If you want to take more time to review them, we will be more than happy to do so, recognizing that we have some new trustees joining us this evening. So those are monthly reports that will be sent to you via email prior to, because they are quite lengthy, and you can review them at your leisure leading up to the board meeting. They do not require action. As with the BUSSY Director Report also, that is the December 2022 report. Our BUSSY team is here in the middle and back of the room. But with that report as well, it does not require action. So for our new trustees, if you'd like to have some questions, that team will be sitting down with you as part of your lunch and learn experiences where you can ask more detailed questions.
Trustees, do you have any questions regarding information items A, B, or C at this time? Okay, thank you. Dr. Green, we have three reports, 6129, 6130, 6131, because they are all technology purchases. If we want to speak to those, because I see our technology person here.
Actually, Mr. Wes Prescott was here. There he is
Yep,
in the back of the
I
room
see
hiding.
him.
Come
Yep.
on up, Mr. Wes Prescott.
I'll try to do these in order. Good evening. How is everyone tonight?
Good evening.
Good. My name is Wes Prescott. I'm the Director of Technology with Oakland Schools, and I support Southfield as one of my districts. So we have three items for information tonight. The first one you can't hear right now, but we have heard ringing in the feedback from the microphone. So to upgrade the sound system or replace the sound system here with advanced lighting and sound for a cost of $13,594. We did get several quotes. Advanced Lighting and Sound is the one that did the work with the video system in here in the TriCaster, so they know the room very well and are 100% capable of completing that work. Are there any questions about that one?
For the record, these microphones in front of you are on loan from M1 Studios. Our microphones, you see, are no longer with us because they have died on the job. So these are borrowed from M1 Studios. We appreciate you, Mike, in the back of them.
I just have one point of clarification. Does that replace that soundboard back? Okay, yep, you got my point.
The
Okay.
full soundboard.
I just
So
wanted
it'll
to
replace
replace all of
the
it.
equipment there and then microphones.
Okay.
Yep.
Perfect.
Any other-
The microphones that are subject to purchase are going to be hardwired so that we don't experience the same amount of feedback and/or them dying during the session. However, I did approve Ron to move forward with the purchase of a temporary set for meetings that we may have out in the community. It's only $300, so that will not be coming before you. However, I did tell him if he needed to take it out of the superintendent's budget because it doesn't make sense that we don't have items that can travel with us when we go and present to the community.
Trustees, any other questions regarding the JWE technology purchase? Okay.
All right, next one is.
University.
Which one? The one at University?
University.
Yes, yep. So we, as part of the safety and security audit, one of the issues that we've been having at Lathrop is the reliability of the PA system. We do have some new components in place. We've done quite a few things to try to make sure that it works properly and is reliable. The one thing that we haven't done, we are using the existing old wiring that was for the old analog PA system. We originally did that. It was the speakers that are there were in pretty good working order 5 or 6 years ago. That is no longer the case. So we got quotes to run new cable, new speakers, so that system will work as intended. The cost for that was just over $33,000, and I believe the vendor is Soundcom, who has done work in the district before. They actually have done most of the PA systems here, so they're very knowledgeable about the district. I think they put in the original PA systems that are currently in place in a lot of buildings. So that work can occur after hours, and they'll run the cabling, and it'll be very little disruption to the day. Are there any questions about that one?
I only have one question, and I know there's some verbiage inside of the document that basically says while the bond has passed, the system needs to be functional until the bond work occurs, roughly 3 to 6 years. Can any of this be repurposed
Oh, yeah.
after
Yeah.
we do this work?
Yeah,
Okay.
so anything, if there's construction in a specific area, that cable will be, either identified as staying or can be
Okay.
pulled back and secured so that it's not, I'd like to say there's no damage, but during construction, there will be some damage.
Understood.
So there'll be some things that need to be repaired, but by and large, it won't need to be done again.
Okay. Trustee Weatherball.
Scott, does this also include?
Wes.
Wes, I'm sorry.
No
Wes-
worries.
Prescott, okay.
Yep.
Does this also include labeling of the cables that will be run? Also a schematic of some sort?
Yeah,
for
so they
future
usually,
reference?
they'll provide an as-built, and what they'll do is when they terminate them in our network closet, they'll be labeled as to what they're for.
Okay,
Yep.
thank you.
Trustees, any other questions regarding UHSA?
Board President, just for the record, any items that we bring to the Board of Education between now and the time the bond work starts will be available for repurpose throughout the bond process.
Okay.
So I will we'll add that line onto the action item so that we continue to keep it at the forefront.
Okay.
And then the last one is for Southfield A&T. Again, there's a couple areas in the building where the receiving room specifically, or the receiving area, doesn't currently have any door access system. So if there's a delivery, somebody knocks on the door and one of the cafeteria workers or a custodian will come out and let that person in without being able to see or speak to them prior to that. So again, a safety and security concern. So adding a couple additional door access buttons and monitors over at Southfield A&T. And again, just over $21,000. We did get 3 quotes for that, and this was the most reasonable and cost effective. Any questions on that one? Fantastic.
Thank you, Wes.
All right, yep, thank you, guys.
Trustees, if you would so wish, we can make this actionable and move this so we can get this work started as soon as possible. Dr. Green, would that be something that the district would like to get started as soon as possible?
Absolutely.
I move that we open and approve report 6129, 6130, and 6131.
Second.
It's been properly moved and supported. Any other discussion, trustees? Board Secretary, please call for the vote.
Trustee Joyce?
Yes.
Trustee Johnson?
Yes.
Trustee Holloway?
Yes.
Trustee Weatherball?
Yes.
Myself, yes. Trustee Bland?
Yes.
Trustee Belk?
Yes.
Unanimous.
Motion carried. Thank you.
Before we move on from there,
Sure.
Board President, through the chair, as it relates to, what was it, the one with the system, the security for the door,
The monitor.
or the
What's
monitors.
that?
Yeah, well, my question isn't for you, just mainly, through the chair to the superintendent, that we look for other opportunities throughout the district where having this type of, security system is needed, where there's opportunities and, yeah.
Board President, if I may.
Sure.
So we brought in at the, maybe the latter part of the fall, a full security team to walk all of our buildings and give us a full security analysis of the entire district. And this team was comprised of many retired Michigan State police officers, and it was the only company, I believe, in the state of Michigan at that time qualified to do this work, and we have a 22-page report of opportunities that we will be leveraging throughout this entire bond work. So you'll continue to hear us say, as part of the security audit that was conducted in our district. So we've made those the priority buttons for us as we embark upon this bond work throughout the district.
All right, thank you.
Public participation. If you wish to address the board regarding a school-related issue that has not yet been resolved by school administration, please submit a comment card immediately. Comments are limited to 3 minutes per individual. As a matter of fairness, speakers with complaints against individuals are asked not to mention any persons by name. Complaints concerning employees pursuant to Board Policy 9130 should be brought to the attention of school principals or other administrators before coming to the Board of Education. Your cooperation is appreciated.
We have no new cards.
We have none. For the good of the order, I only have one thing. It was lifted by Trustee Smith-Thomas. Earlier this week, we were provided with a press release about the Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Task Force. There is a food drive taking place for the community on January 13th, 2023, which is Friday. And they are having, of course, their Youth Service Awards program on this evening. There's also the opening ceremony march and in-person program activities on January 16th if the community would like to get involved. So that was the only thing that I had for the good of the order, trustees.
If we could just share with the community the upcoming conferences that several of the trustees will be attending.
We have multiple conferences coming up. I believe the next conference is in 2 weeks. Is it 2? We have the Equity Symposium, and we have the Advocacy Institute taking place in Washington, D.C. Trustee Smith-Thomas will be going on behalf of the Southfield Board of Education. It is also open to other trustees if they wish. Dr. Green will be present with K-12 Alliance, correct?
Unfortunately,
You
I
won't be
have
able to
decided
go.
to forego that seat because I
Understood.
will be with the executive team working on board policies.
Understood. We also have our National School Board Association conference, which will be taking place in April 1st, is it?
March 31st.
March 30th through
31st.
April 3rd, I believe in Orlando, Florida. Many of us will be attending that, myself, Trustee Joyce, Trustee Smith-Thomas, Trustee Ware Duvall. I believe almost all of us will be in attendance. Is that correct?
And for the first time, I will be able to join you.
And, oh, look at Dr. Green. Dr. Green will also be able to join us for that as well. So those are some of the learning opportunities that we have approaching soon. Did I miss anything? I saw somebody
Law
just
and
walk.
finance.
Oh, Planet Moran, School Law and Finance is also going to be taking place in person this year at Planet Moran's offices.
It's actually at the Westin in
Oh,
Southfield.
oh, that's really nice. It's at the Westin this year. Excuse me. Also, I just wanted to take a moment. He was not present when Dr. Green stated it before, but Dr. Green thanked her EDN team. And I had mentioned this at our operational meeting, but I'd just like to take a moment to let the community know how great it was to know that in Dr. Green's absence, we had a team. So to Pam English, Mr. James Jackson, Summer Caldwell Carruthers, Dr. Freeman, the EDN team, and Ms. Foster. I believe Ms. Gardner is absent, but thank you for holding down the fort in
Ms.
Dr.
Wright.
Green's. And Ms. Wright, I
And Ms.
apologize.
Cash.
You know, Ms. Wright doesn't go home. So,
And so Ms. Cash sent out so many emails that
Oh
one of the
my
parents
gosh.
wrote to me and said, "Is Ms. Cash filling in for Dr. Green in her absence?" I was like, "Oh, wait."
and also Ms. Cash is running our social media too. And I must say that it is a breath of fresh air seeing all the great things that our students are doing as well. So thank you for that. Excellent job. So I just wanted to take that opportunity to say thank you and recognize you all again. Anyone else for the good of the order? Hearing none. Future meetings, February 14th, Valentine's Day. A regular board meeting at 7 o'clock taking place at JWE. This meeting is adjourned at 8:36.
All right.
Great job.